In the early hours of November 5, 1605, London slept under a thick autumn fog, unaware that beneath its streets lay barrels of death. The vaulted cellars beneath the Houses of Parliament were not empty. They held a dangerous secret, stacked in rows like silent executioners waiting for the signal. For months, a small group of English Catholics had plotted to strike at the very heart of Protestant rule by blowing up King James I and his government in a single, fiery moment. At the center of the scheme was Guy Fawkes, a man whose name would echo through history, not as a leader, but as the one chosen to light the fuse. England at the time was a land divided, simmering with religious tension. Where Catholics lived under suspicion, their rights stripped, their worship forced into the shadows. To the plotters, there seemed no hope in petitions or peaceful persuasion. They believed only a violent strike could restore their faith's freedom. The mastermind, Robert Catesby, envisioned a spectacular act that would wipe out the Protestant leadership in one instant, paving the way for a Catholic monarch. He gathered a small band of co-conspirators, each sworn to secrecy, each ready to face death for the cause. The plan was audacious: to rent a storage space directly under the House of Lords and quietly fill it with enough gunpowder to send the entire building, everyone inside, into the sky. Over the course of months, they smuggled in 36 barrels, each packed with explosive potential, hiding them beneath piles of firewood and coal to avoid suspicion. Guy Fawkes, a soldier with experience in explosives, was chosen to guard the stash and ignite it when the time came. But as the fateful day approached, whispers began to leak through the city's darkened taverns and candlelit streets. One anonymous letter, sent to a Catholic nobleman, warned him to stay away from Parliament on November 5th. That letter made its way into the hands of the king's men, and suspicion flared like the very powder they feared was hidden below. On the night of November 4th, the authorities moved quietly, searching the cellars by torchlight. There, in the flickering glow, they found Fawkes himself, cloaked, armed, and surrounded by the very barrels that could have rewritten England's fate. The gunpowder plot was foiled in an instant, but the consequences would ripple for centuries. Fawkes was seized, tortured, and forced to reveal the names of his fellow conspirators. Some were hunted down and killed in violent skirmishes. Others were dragged to London for brutal public executions. Robert Catesby met his end in a hail of musket fire, still clutching his vision of revolution. For the Protestant government, the failed plot became a rallying cry, a justification for even harsher measures against Catholics. For centuries to come, November 5th would be marked with bonfires, fireworks, and the burning of Guy Fawkes' effigies, a celebration of survival and a warning to any who might dare challenge the crown. Yet in the shadows of history, the story of the gunpowder plot is more than just a tale of treason. It is a mirror reflecting the dangers of religious division and desperate acts born of persecution. The cellars beneath Parliament still stand today, a silent witness to the night. England almost lost its king in a storm of fire and smoke, and though the barrels are long gone, it's the image of a bearded man in a wide-brimmed hat, Guy Fawkes, has become a symbol far beyond its origins. A face of rebellion, adopted by causes around the world. In 1605, he failed to light the fuse. But in memory, in myth, and in masks worn centuries later, his spark still burns. The gunpowder plot remains a lesson in how one night, one man, and one match could have altered the destiny of a nation. Like and subscribe so you don't miss even more interesting historical facts.